First and foremost, we're talking about the defense and security of matters with the Prime Minister. We share the conviction that we need a united, strong, and competitive Europe, and Poland and France can definitely contribute to this. We have a responsibility that is very important for peace and security on our continent. In the face of Russia's ongoing aggression against Ukraine for more than 3 years, actually 10 years, this responsibility is primarily about resolving the situation in Ukraine and creating a safe country based on security guarantees. We would like you to understand that we are presenting this attack with a view to deeper cooperation, which it stems from our glorious, glorious destiny. But we are also opening a new page in our joint cooperation, which goes back many centuries in Eastern Europe. We created a moment like this. It relates to the fact that, for example, in the face of the threat of Nazism, we did not respond appropriately, and we brought it into being. The Iron Curtain that divided Europe, and although this curtain has been let down until 1989, and although you have been a member of the European Union for 20 years, it looks very different at the moment. Perhaps we don't see Russia and didn't see Russia as such an existential threat. And perhaps someone might think that U.S. guarantees apply to everyone, more important than guarantees from all of Europe. Let's hope it doesn't turn out otherwise. With that, we open. We are turning a new page in our history, especially in view of the crisis of recent years. We want to do it to our nations and to Europe, to keep Europe together from Brest to Krakow. And this Friendship Treaty is intended to serve that purpose.
Our nations will feel secure not when we talk about it, but when our states and the political elites of both our nations work hard every day to make security a material fact. That our mutual guarantees of aid and security contained in this treaty be not just a record of our desires, but a guarantee of our lasting security. I have a deep conviction, and that's why I think so. Today, we are talking about a historic event that from now on, France and Poland, in these difficult times, will really be able to count on each other in every good and difficult situation. We are not only talking about mutual military guarantees, cooperation between our military industries, cooperation when it comes to state-of-the-art nuclear cooperation technologies. All this is important, but politics is also important, and we have made no secret of our concern that this treaty will also greatly strengthen the entire structure of European stability. If we believe in the sense of broader agreements, we have both put in a great deal of work to make the Weimar Triangle an even better tool for solving problems in Europe and in this part of the world. It is certain that our treaty will greatly strengthen this format as well. The treaty does not close but opens this new chapter. We will continue to work together for a just peace in Ukraine as soon as possible. Here, Lo really bows, Ms. President, for your commitment. Poland took on great burdens consciously, with conviction, to help Ukraine and Ukrainians during this cruel war. But your commitment, dear President, is priceless and gives hope that this tragic and unnecessary war will find an end after all.
How can you assure today, in the event of a possible attack by Germany, only Russia, that it would be different? Are there adequate resources? Would there be a French branch presence in Poland?
First of all, I would like to provide a perspective here. Of course, the situation has changed fundamentally since World War II with the mechanisms of solidarity, including Art. 5 of the NATO Treaty. This is a real change from the 1939 situation you mentioned. Second point. We are convinced, and I emphasize this many times, that we have to create, in fact, the pillars of European cooperation. It is because we turn to our American allies from one administration to the other so that our security is on our side. This is legitimate. And this is why we believe that Europe should also create its own defense system, which will not be an alternative to NATO, but will simply be its responsibility. And at this point, we are trying to implement it in a rational way. Solidarity, which was introduced in both the NATO and European Union treaties. This is very different from what it was in 1939. So we have an additional stage, and this treaty gives credibility. You know that U.S. troops are deployed in Europe for the trial. They actually make up the majority of these branches. It would be a big change if they backed out, and we don't wish that. But as Europeans, we have to deal with it. I would like to say that we will continue to engage. On the other hand, the point is that we should also strengthen ourselves so that we are less dependent on decisions that may be made outside Europe. And in this respect, it is related. Decisions made by Poland, including those related to spending 5% of GDP on defense. France has also doubled its defense budget, and these are the things we are going to introduce. And we also have the conviction that this treaty, through cooperation, through the clear articulation of solidarity, is all about change from that agreement of ours.
President Macron and I think I have also proven
Wszyscy,
that we
Francja
are
także,
handling
ciągamy
threats
wnioski z
from
historii.
anti-European or populist forces in Europe quite
Polska
well. Frankly,
stała się
I wish
pierwszą ofiarą
everyone in Europe had the
Niemiec
kind of
hitlerowskich
political effectiveness that President
i zaczęło się w
Macron has
Gdańsku.
displayed in recent years. I don't have
Ale Francja
complexes
padła zaraz
myself
po
either,
nas.
so keep your fingers crossed for us.
Gdybyśmy
Then we will indeed all
86
feel
lat
safer.
temu, a
I
może
have such
87
hope
lat
on the
temu,
merits.
pamiętamy
After
jeszcze o
all, so does
monarchii,
everyone in France. We learn from
gdyby
history.
ówczesny Zachód
Poland became the
poważnie
first
traktował
victim of
wszystkie
Nazi
swoje
Germany,
zobowiązania,
and it started in dance. But
gdyby
France fell
ówczesne
right after
rządy
us.
w całej
If we had
Europie
86 years ago,
podjęły
or
akcje
maybe
w odpowiednim
87 years
czasie,
ago, we still
być może
remember Munich. If the West at the
lata
time had taken all its commitments
czarnej
seriously,
nocy
if the governments of the time across
między rokiem
Europe had taken
39 a
timely action,
45 być może
then
wyglądałyby
perhaps those
zupełnie
years
inaczej.
of Black Night between
Jeśli
39
dzisiaj
and
zapisujemy w
45
traktacie
might have
klauzulę o
looked
wzajemnej
very different.
pomocy, w tym
If
pomocy
today
militarnej
we
na wypadek
enshrine in the
zagrożenia,
treaty a clause on mutual
to temu
assistance, including military
kluczowemu
assistance in
zdaniu
case of
towarzyszy nasze głębokie przekonanie, że my tej historii się nauczyliśmy.
This key sentence is accompanied by our deep
I
conviction
to nie jest tak,
that
że
we
to
have
Polska
learned this
kogoś
history.
dzisiaj prosi
And
o
it's not like it's
gwarancję
Poland asking
bezpieczeństwa.
someone today for security guarantees.
Polska dzisiaj buduje
Poland
najsilniejszą
today
armię
is
w Europie
building
po
the
to,
strongest army
aby
in
być
Europe
sojusznikiem
in
dla
order
wszystkich,
to
którzy
be an
będą
ally to
potrzebowali
all those
pomocy,
who will need help when
wtedy, kiedy być
Poland
może
may
i
need
Polska
help.
będzie potrzebowała
Let's give each
pomocy.
other security guarantees.
Dajemy sobie wzajemne
And you can be
gwarancje
sure that
bezpieczeństwa
the intention of both the
i możecie
president
Państwo
and
być
me
pewni, że
is to take this
intencją i
provision
Pana
deadly
Prezydenta i
seriously.
moją jest śmiertelnie poważnie traktować ten zapis.